Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It is super helpful. Let's talk about the untimely, unfortunate passing of Game Informer magazine. It's been around since 1991, the year that the Super NES hit the US, and it's just really unfortunate. I say untimely, but in the digital age, you never know. Print is not quite dead, but it is definitely suffering. Game Informer magazine was, I think we took it for granted. I think a lot of people took it for granted. I subscribed to it for many years. Now at the end of the video, I'm going to show you some Game Informer magazines that my books have appeared in, and even an article I wrote for the magazine about my favorite video game of all time. So hold tight and let's go. Let's talk about the demise of Game Informer magazine. It was a sad day. The cancellation of Game Informer magazine by GameStop, their parent company, was obviously handled very poorly. Many employees found out the way I did, via a social media post. People lost their livelihoods, their jobs, the way to support their family, the way to put gas in their car, food on their table. They found out via a social media post that they no longer had a job. The editorial staff was laid off without warning. They were working on a farewell issue that was about 70% complete, and they have a generic, seemingly AI written note on their website that is so just lame and bland and AI written and kind of fluffy. You can go to GameInformer.com to read it. As a matter of fact, if you go to Game Informer, if you go to any Game Informer, any link to any Game Informer article, it'll just take you to that farewell note that was obviously not written by editorial staff. It was written by, maybe a GameStop marketing person that just fed it into ChatGPT or whatever. There's not really a thank you to their employees. And I hate that all the articles on Game Informer's website are completely gone, including my interview. A few years ago, someone with a magazine interviewed me for the Game Informer website, and I was going to copy and paste that into my blog now that the website is gone, or now that the magazine is gone. And I went to look for it, and everything just goes straight to the website, which is only just the farewell article, just a brief, really lame outro, if you will. Unfortunate. I'll try to go to the Wayback Machine and find that so I can post that on brettweisswords.com for you guys to check out. And a lot of people ask me why I publish quotes in my omnibus books, why I include quotes for magazines and websites, because these things aren't always going to be here. Websites in particular, as you guys know who followed Nintendo Age for many years, a lot of that content is gone. And now all the content from GameInformer.com is gone. And I do like to quote really good quotes from established and respected websites. In my books, just here and there, you get more opinions than just my own. And to keep that, just to preserve the history of that. So yeah, GameInformer.com, no more, other than that lame farewell, just nothing of a little letter from GameStop corporate, most likely. And, luckily you can't take your physical issues away of Game Informer. I know a lot of you guys have hundreds of issues of the magazine, and I'll show you just a couple over here in a minute with my stuff in it. And the magazine, I think a lot of people just took it for granted. They had very objective reviews of video games, which is pretty cool considered they were published by GameStop, who sold games. You might think they have an editorial edict in place, or they just sort of wrote fluff reviews or wrote overly positive reviews. I mean, from what I could tell, I've read hundreds and hundreds of reviews in Game Informer over the years. They appeared to be very objective, and they wrote a lot of deep dive articles where they would interview content creators, where they would interview game programmers, interview, music composers, and every facet, all kinds of people in the gaming space throughout the years. Really good magazine for a very long time, since 1991, the year the Super Nintendo came out. And I've pretty much kept up with Game Informer until the last few years. Yeah, I am part of the problem. I stopped subscribing to Game Informer, gosh, more than a decade ago, or at least more than 7, I don't know. I can't, time goes by so fast to me, I can't even tell. Probably more than a decade ago, unfortunate. And for many years, I would get the discount card, the Power Rewards program, because it was a great deal. I got 10% off games, and I got this great magazine, and it was pretty cheap, pretty awesome, well worth it, because I bought a ton of games at GameStop over the years, and having the Power Rewards program and the Game Informer magazine and get my discount, it was a great deal. I miss those days. That was a lot of fun. Now, in this digital age where a lot of people get all their information online, either through websites or social media or blog posts or whatever, what have you, a lot of people no longer will sit down and read an entire magazine from cover to cover. And these deep dive articles that Game Informer did, they did a really good job just, surveying the entire video game industry from a variety of different perspectives. I really appreciated that magazine. I used to read the heck out of Game Informer the last few years. I pretty much stopped, so yeah, I'm part of the problem. And I was watching 8-Bit Eric and Smash JT's videos about the loss of Game Informer, about the cancellation of Game Informer. And yeah, they said, they both still subscribed apparently, still got issues, but they hadn't read it much in recent years, at least not as much as they used to. So that's unfortunate that it's gone, but I get it. There's a lot of distractions these days. There's so many documentaries on video games that you can watch on streaming services. There's so much digital content that it's hard to sit down and read an entire magazine from cover to cover. And that's too bad. I miss that era. I miss getting my Game Informer in the mail. I miss, saving 10% off at GameStop, but I just kind of quit doing that. That's just sign of the times. That's how it goes. Now, Game Informer was a very successful magazine. By 2011, it was the third largest magazine in the U.S. GameStop's Power Up Rewards membership program definitely was a big part of this, and it was pretty ingenious. Sell this magazine, which would inform people about the products they sold. And yeah, like I said, the reviews were objective, but there was a lot of previews and a lot of ads that would help GameStop sell their video games. And yeah, pretty cool combo there. I liked it. I subscribed for many years and saved a bunch of money and had a great time reading Game Informer magazine. I hate to see that it's gone. And before we get to the covers, let me know in the comments as you watch this, what era of Game Informer do you remember? The thinner issues, the thicker issues in the middle, the later thinner issues. What covers did you like? They had sort of the environmental covers later on with less text on them. Early on, it was more, advertising each game, a lot of the games that were in the issue. And just, were you a Game Informer subscriber for many years? But anyway, let's go look at some specific issues of Game Informer with my books in them. So let's check it out, plus my review of Mr. Do that was in Game Informer in the late, greatest game of all time feature in Classic GI. Let's check them out. This March 2008 issue of Game Informer is very important to me, not because of the Aliens Colonial Marines cover, which is very cool, but because it has a review of my very first book, Classic Home Video Games 72 through 84. Now, this is our kind of history book. This thoroughly researched reference guide to home game consoles of the pre-NES era comprehensively lists every officially released U.S. game from Asteroids to Zaxxon. If this had been one of our textbooks in school, maybe we actually would have stayed awake in class instead of, ditching to go play video games. Hilarious. It was $55 because that was the hardcover release. Pretty cool. That was very exciting. When I got this issue, I was incredibly excited. Let's check out another one. This is the December 2011 issue. And what is inside? Hey, look at that bookmark. That's pretty cool. Classic Home Video Games, 89 through 90, covering a really cool era with the Genesis, TurboGrafx, and Neo Geo. Every game for each of those consoles. A smaller little picture of the book there, but hey, every little bit helps. And in Game Informer, a lot of people saw this book, along with Ernest Cline's book, Steve Jobs' book, and other people I'm not worthy of. Pretty cool. Let's check another one. This is the December 2019 issue. Let's check it out. And in their holiday buyer's guide, none other than my SNES Omnibus Volume 2. Now, that's a really small cover there, but hey, like I said, a lot of eyes on this book, and that definitely helped with sales. Speaking of the SNES Omnibus Volume 2, check this out. Guess who wrote the foreword to the SNES Omnibus Volume 2 by yours truly? None other than Ben Reeves. He was a senior editor with Game Informer magazine and a friend of mine. Great dude. He wrote an awesome foreword to this book. Did a fantastic job. There's his bio there. Really cool. Now let's get to that Mr. Do review. Hang on to the end of this video because there's one magazine, one issue of Game Informer I couldn't find that had a big picture of my SNES Omnibus Volume 2, and I will show you that just with a still pic at the end of this video because I could not find the issue, but luckily I have pictures of it. So let's check this out in Game Informer September 2002 issue with Grand Theft Auto Vice City of all games on the cover, and a humble little game called Mr. Do in the classic GI section. Remember that? Mark Turmel, great designer of games. Let's get over here to the greatest game of all time. I loved this feature, and I was so excited when they published this. Every month, one of Game Informer's readers picks his or her personal choice of greatest game of all time. And of course, I picked Mr. Do, the Super Nintendo version with the two-player battle mode. Awesome. It was just exciting being in Game Informer magazine. And yeah, so that's pretty neat. This is on my website. If you just Google Brett Weiss, Mr. Do, you will find this review on my website that you can read. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your Game Informer memories in the comments, and check out the SNES Omnibus Volume 1 and this Game Informer that I can't find at the end. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We will talk to you in another video.